Okay, I realized there's two practice exams, so I might have been referring to the wrong question. Like if I said it's question 7 in the practice exam, um, I might have been referring to like 1 or 2, so you're gonna have to figure that out for yourself. I'm sorry, I'll try to put it in the about section on the YouTube video, for which question it's referring to. I mean, I know you guys can figure that out yourself, but I'm just giving you a heads up. So we're gonna find the value of these expressions when we have to substitute in a variable. And that is similar to practice exam 2, number 7 right here, all right? So we're going to give you some variables, t and p, and we're going to tell you what they equal. This is a -4. And then you're just going to plug it into these. It's very easy. The only thing that you guys might get confused about is you might forget to do the brackets first. Remember, BOMDAS, you know, brackets, then indices, you know, all that. So, and then you might also get your negatives and positive mixed up. So be very careful. And I'm going to show you how I do it with all my brackets near each other so I don't forget anything. So let's do this first one. 4 times c minus 8 times h, with c equals a 3 and h equals a 2. So all we're going to do is plug it in. So 4 times c, but c is 3, and then minus 8 times h, but h is 2. Now, what do? We're subtracting. So first we do BOMDAS, first we do the brackets. There's nothing in these brackets. I mean, there's just the numbers in these brackets, so there's nothing for us to do. So the next thing we do is indices or powers. Well, there's no powers here. And so the next one is multiplication and division. There's no division, there's multiplication, so let's do multiplication first. So 4 times 3 is 12, and 8 times 2 is 16. Now we can do the division and subtraction, right? So there's no, now we can do the subtraction and addition. Okay, that's the last step of BOMDAS. So we have 12 minus 16, which is -4, right? So there's that. Let's do another one. 7rf, when r is 4 and f is 2. So 7r, which is the same as 4. And when we put it in brackets like this, what did I do? It just means multiplication, right? So 7 times 4 times -2. So first things we do is the brackets. There are no brackets. Yes, there are brackets, but they're not. There's no equation in there, so there's nothing we can do. So BOMDAS, brackets first. There's nothing to do. Powers or exponents or indices, whatever you want to call it. Second, there's none of that. So multiplication and division next. We're multiplying, and so we start left to right, okay? So 7 times 4. I mean, we could do it all at once. It doesn't matter, but whatever. 28 times -2. A negative multiplied by a positive is always a negative, so the answer is -56. Okay? Next one. I'm actually going to make this a bit harder, and I'm going to put an indis here, okay? Let's make it 3. And I'm going to change this to A4. So, you know what, before I do this, how about you guys push pause and try to do these yourself, okay? Let's try, can you push pause and do this one and this one? Sorry, I didn't number them. Push pause and try and do these, okay? In your notebook. Okay. I hope you pushed pause and I hope you attempted these, okay? So let's do the next one. 7 times b, but b is just -3. Brackets t, but t is just 4, minus 3, and the power of 3. Okay, now we're talking. So the first thing we do is brackets. There's 2 brackets. This bracket, there's nothing to do, so we skip that. So brackets 4 minus 3, that's equal to 1. So we have 7, and guys, I highly recommend you do all these steps, because then I can give you partial credit. But if you skip steps and you get the wrong answer, I'm not trying to be mean, but I won't know what you did, and I can't give you partial credit. Okay, next, we did the brackets. Now what's next? the indices or the exponents or the powers, whatever you want to say. So that 3 up there, that's a power. So this is 1 to the power of 3. 1 is the base, okay? 3 is not the base, 7 is not the base, 1 is the base. Well, what's 1 times 1 times 1? It's just 1. So that stays the same. So now we have 7 times. If you want to put this 1 here, you can, but it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So now let's just do, now we have multiplication and division. It doesn't matter which comes first. We just do left to right. So this is all multiplication now. So let's do it. So 7 times negative 3. It's a positive and a negative multiplying. So we do negative 27 times 1, which is the same as just negative 27. That's the final answer. Okay, so there's that one. Next one, g cubed d to the power of 3 minus c. Well, g is the same as 2, and c is the same as negative 3. So what do we do first? We do the brackets. There are no brackets. So the next thing is indices, or exponents, or powers. So there's the next one. So 2 is the base, 3 is the indice, or the power. So 2 to the power of 3 is 8, and minus negative 3. And now we do multiplication and division. There are none, so now last step, subtraction and addition. We go left to right. So what is 8 minus negative 3? So these two negative sides are sitting next to each other, so that means it turns it into a positive. So the answer is 8 plus 3, which is 11. Now, remember, they're next to each other. There's nothing in between these two negatives. That's why it makes it a positive. If we had this negative here, right, then that's negative 8 minus 3, which is negative 11. Okay, so that would be, the answer for this would be negative 11. All right, keep that in mind, that when we're adding and subtracting, the negatives have to be next to each other. We're talking about things next to each other, okay? Okay, next one, 5d plus c. So we have 5 times negative 5 plus negative 2. So first thing we do, brackets. There's no brackets. Second one is indices, no indices. Third one, multiplication. And we only have 1, and we do left to right, so 5 times negative 5 is negative 25 plus negative 2. And now let's just look at these. The negative and the positive, they're next to each other. There's no number in between them, so we could rewrite that as 25 minus 2, because when there's two negatives next to each other, when we're adding and subtracting, it turns into a negative. And now we just go left to right. There's no more indices, there's no more brackets, so this answer is just negative 27, right? Next one, k squared times 5 plus l. So k is negative 3. I like to put my negatives in a bracket, times 5 plus l, but l is negative 9. So first thing we do is brackets. All right, so remember that negative 3 it's in a bracket, but there's nothing in there, so we don't do anything here. So negative 3, nope. To the power of 2 times, well, let's do the brackets. What's inside the brackets? Oops, I forgot one here. It's 5 plus negative 9. So the plus and the negative are next to each other, so that's the same as 5 minus 9, right? Which is the same as negative 4. Because 5 minus 9 is negative 4. Now we finish with the brackets. There's no more brackets. And now we go to the powers. So negative 3 to the power of 2, right here. That's the second step. And that's going to be equal to positive 9 because negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive. So 9 times negative 4. That's our last step, and that's going to equal negative, right? Because a negative and a positive multiplied by each other is always a negative, negative 36. That's the final answer. Negative 36 is the final answer. I'm going to erase all these so that I could have more room. There's the other ones. So be sure and do your brackets so that you don't get confused, okay? I wish we had more time to spend on this, but this book wants us to do like literally the book wants us to do like 4 pages a day, like in the workbook and the math book. I don't know how we're going to finish it in the year. It's pretty intense. So for R is negative 2, and U is 2. You can put the power inside here, that's okay. Same thing. You just always have to know what the base is and what the power is, but both of these is the same, but let's put them in. I think it's kind of better if it's inside, so we know that the base is 2 and the power is 3. So first thing is brackets. We don't have any brackets. So second thing is powers. Well, 2 to the power of 3. Remember, bomb does. 2 to the power of 3 is 8. And now we just go left to right. Oops, this is negative. Left to right, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And negative 8 times negative 8 times 8 is negative 64. So that's the answer. Okay?